70-year-old Hakim Baba gave his young wife something on the first night of their marriage that no man has ever given her. Knowing this, the ground will give way under your feet. I no longer have the courage to endure it. I was crying in my heart and pleading with God. I was sitting in the corner of this big bed, wrapped in a red blanket. And my whole being was trembling despite not being cold. My hands had become as cold as ice. And my ribs felt as if they would break and burst from the rapid beating of my heart. This was the most confusing night of my life. What fate had a 20-year-old young girl had that she was tied to the lap of such a man, whose age had exceeded 70 years. There was such a silence in the room that it was cutting me to the core. And I was just staring at the door with a blank stare, from where at any moment my city was about to enter. The footsteps were now approaching. My heart was very nervous. The door opened very slowly and he entered. My eyes closed in fear of the intensity, and my mind automatically started wandering through the dark streets of the past, from where my ruin had begun, and where I had tasted a new death every day. My name is Michelle, and my story is the story of orphan girls whose shadow is snatched from their heads in childhood. After the death of my parents, I found shelter in my uncle's house, but no love. Every day there was a test. I did all the housework, but still I was made to feel like a burden. When I was 20, one day my aunt made me sit next to her. There was a strange seriousness on her face. She said, "Your marriage is fixed." I looked at her in surprise. I had thousands of questions in my heart, but I didn't have the courage to ask. A few days later, I came to know that I was going to marry a 70-year-old Hakim Baba. My dreams, my desires, everything was shattered in an instant. I protested a lot, but no one heard my voice. Decisions had already been made for me. On the day of the wedding, I was sitting in a red couplet, but my heart was mourning. There was noise everywhere, people were happy, but there were only silent tears in my eyes. The night was getting darker. I was sitting in this big room where my heart was beating with fear. The door opened slowly and Hakim Baba entered. I closed my eyes. I felt that now the most difficult moment of my life was about to begin. But there was silence for a while. Then I heard a soft voice. "Daughter, don't be afraid." I opened my eyes in surprise. Hakim Baba was sitting in front of me at a distance. There was softness on his face, not anger or hardness. He held out a small box towards me. My hands were shaking. I slowly opened the box. Inside it was a key. I looked at him in surprise. He said, "This is not the key to this house, it is the key to your freedom." I couldn't understand anything. He spoke softly. "I know you are not happy with me. You are at an age to play and dream. I did not marry you for my own happiness. I accepted you so that you could escape the oppression of those who considered you a burden." Tears welled up in my eyes. He added, "There will be no restrictions on you in this house. You can study, make your own life, and decide what you want whenever you want." That night, I realized for the first time that not every story is as we think. Days passed. Hakim Baba gave me the opportunity to complete my education. I picked up books again. At first, everything seemed difficult, but then slowly my life started changing. I completed college, then started working in a school. For the first time, I felt that I too could make my own identity. Hakim Baba always watched my success silently. He spoke little, but his prayers always had good things for me. One day I asked him, "Why did you do all this for me?" He smiled and said, "Because some people in life come to give, not to take." A few years later, Hakim Baba left this world. After he left, I received his will. It read, "Michelle, I never imprisoned you. You were always free. If because of me you got a new life, then that is my greatest happiness." I held that letter close to my chest. That day I understood that sometimes life brings us to a point where a new hope is hidden behind fear.